Hi everybody. So today we're going to do something really fun because you already know so much of the information. We're going to review phrases and clauses. I want to see if we understand everything completely. So do not get nervous because I'm going to review everything that we've learned before we take the quizzes. So please take out Mrs. Villalba's grammar notes. You have it in your notebook. Good. So I would like to look at the first one. It says the 5 sentence patterns. All right, so I have them right here. Let me pull them. Okay. Subject, linking verb. Subject, linking verb, PN, which means predicate nominative, as you know. Subject, action verb, DO. Subject, action verb, IODO. Okay, so let's go over the signs as we learn them. And remember, it's a clapping. And, SB, SOVPN, SOVPA, SAVDO, SAVIODO. Again, SB, SOVPN, SOVPA, SAVDO, SAVIODO. So number one, we know that sentence pattern just has a subject and verb. The second one has a subject, a linking verb, and predicate nominative. The next one has a subject, linking verb, and predicate adjective. Let's look at those. Notice that only the PN and the PA follow a linking verb. Only PN, PA follows a linking verb. With the last two, AVDO, AVIODO. So direct object, you know, is a noun, and it follows an action verb. We'll review those as we go. So let's look at the A parts of speech. You're looking at your notes. So preposition, we have 56 prepositions. We'll review those. We have verbs, both action and linking verbs. We have noun, which is a person, place, or thing. A pronoun takes the place of a noun. An adjective modifies a noun or pronoun. Repeat, an adjective modifies a noun or pronoun. And the adverb. The adverb modifies va, which stands for verb, adjective, adverb. Let's go to number 3, number 5, and number 6. Why are those so important? The noun, the adjective, and the adverb? Because they are words, but they become phrases. So we have what kind of phrases? We have 8 of them. Today we're focusing on the noun, the adjective, and the adverb. So just like the noun functions as a subject, predicate nominative, direct object, indirect object, and other things that we won't go into, the same thing with the phrases, okay? Conjunction, fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. Again, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. And those are the conjunctions that come between an independent clause and another independent clause, making it a compound sentence. Interjection is anything that shows emotion, like fire, look out, with the exclamation point. Okay, going on to the prepositional phrases. Let's go to what is never found in a prepositional phrase. The subject and the verb. Phrases are just a group of words. You will never find the subject and verb in a prepositional phrase. So let's review the signs for that. This is a prepositional phrase. This is a preposition. This is a noun or pronoun functioning as the object of the preposition. Everything in the middle, adjectives. Again, what do we never find in a phrase? Subject and verb. This is a prepositional phrase. This is a preposition. This is a noun or pronoun functioning as the object of the preposition. Everything in the middle? Yes, adjectives. Page 2. Now we're looking at all the prepositions that we memorized. How many? Yes, 56. So look at the columns one at a time. I'd like you to skim them. We're going to review them pretty quickly. Here we go. We're going to start with the first column. Aboard, about, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, as, at. Second column, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, besides, between, beyond, but, by. Concerning, despite, down, during, except, for, from, in, inside, into, like, near, of, off, on, to, over, out, outside. And the last column, past, since, through, throughout, till, to, toward, underneath, until, up, upon, with, within, without. Very good. And let's go to the verb, because that's another kind of phrase. We have the verb, and then we have the extended verb, which is called the verb phrase. So we have drive, and the phrase would be can drive. Swim, could have swum. Yes, remember, yesterday I swam, but I have swum many times before. Infinitive, that can create another phrase. Let's recall, it's always to followed by a verb. Infinitive, to jump. Infinitive phrase, to jump in the pool. Okay, let's get to the verbs. There are two kinds of verbs. Remember, there is action. We can see it happening. And let's look at stand, sit, clap, sing. Those are action verbs. And let's remember A-V-D-O, A-V-I-O-D-O. Must we recognize the action verbs? Yes. And the linking verbs, they all come from be. Let's do the list of linking verbs. There are 21 of them. Let's see if we remember. Be, being, am is, are, was, were. Shall be, will be, has, have, had, been, shall have been, will have been. Should be, would be, could be, can be, should have been, would have been, could have been. So, those are up here, linking verbs. When you see a linking verb, it may be followed by a PN or a PA. Okay, let's review the list of linking verbs. Well, there's a list of verbs that can be both linking and action. So that means they can do all of these things. They can be a predicate noun, they can be followed by a predicate noun, a direct object, or an IO and a DO. So we need to know those very well. There's only 12. Let's do it together. And appear, become, feel, grow, look, remain, seem, smell, sound, stay, taste, turn. And let's go to the next page, page 4. And let's see how taste can be both linking and action. So we have to look at the sentence to see what it is doing. The meatloaf tastes good. The subject is meatloaf. Is the meatloaf doing anything? No. The meatloaf tastes good. So if it's not doing anything, we can't see it standing, sitting, or actually going and tasting something else. It's a linking verb. Meatloaf tastes, linking verb good, PA. Marco tasted the meatloaf. Marco tasted the meatloaf. Subject, Marco tasted. Can we see him? Yes. A-V-D-O. Marco tasted what? Meatloaf. One more example. Mike appears sad. Think about that. Is he actually performing any action? No. He's kind of just sad. So appears, linking verb. Appears what? Sad, a predicate adjective. Sad Mike. Superman appeared at the door. We saw that happen. A-V. So this one is Superman appeared. At, preposition. At the door, prepositional phrase. Betty feels ill. Feels, linking verb, ill, PA. Jack felt the velvet spread with his hands. Can we see that? Yes. A-V-D-O. The desk turned yellow with age. That's such a long process. We really don't see it. Turned LV, yellow, PA. The dog turned on its side. On its side, prep phrase, so we only have subject, action, verb. We saw him turn. Okay, so subject complements. Okay, Mrs. Villalba is linking verb, be, being, am, is, are, was, were. So if we go back to that list of be verbs, notice that they all end in be, every single one except 5 in the first column. Am, is, are, was, were. Linking all the time. Let's look at it here. Ms. Villalba is LV. Ms. Villalba is what? Teacher. So we look at teacher. This is a subject complement. It's complementing the subject. Is it a person, place, or thing? Yes, teacher, therefore PN. Ms. Villalba is teacher, PN. LV, PN. Ms. Villalba is tall. Ms. Villalba is linking verb. Ms. Villalba is what? Tall. AV. I'm sorry, PA. It's an adjective describing Ms. Villalba. Okay, so now we have the 5 sentence patterns. We've already reviewed them. Let's go to the 8 types of phrases on page 5. Prepositional phrase we reviewed, verb phrase we did. Now phrase, I want to go look at 3, 4, and 5. I want to hear you say nah, nah. These 3 phrases, noun, adjective, adverb. Those are the ones we're going to be testing on. Noun phrase, what does it do? It functions as a noun. It can be the subject, BOP, PN, DO, IO. Adjective, what does it do? Describes a noun or pronoun. Again, describes a noun or pronoun. Adverb modifies va. Repeat. Adverb modifies va. What is va? Verb, adjective, adverb. So then we have the verbal phrases. So a verbal is part verb and part something else. One of them is the gerund phrase. It ends in ing and functions as a noun. If anything functions as a noun, you know it can be the subject. It can be OP, DO, IO. Swimming is fun. See, swimming looks like a verb, but it is not. Swimming is your subject noun. Is what? Subject is what? Fun. PA, modifying swimming. Mario returned from exercising. Look at exercising, looks like a verb, it is not. We have a verb. Mario is the subject, returned, action verb, from, preposition. From exercising, excuse me, exercising is a gerund, functioning is a noun, specifically is the object of the preposition from. Exercising in the early morning is exhilarating. So now we have a prep phrase right in the middle. Exercising is what? Exhilarating. Okay, PA, modifying exercising. So we have gerund. Now we have infinitive. Remember the 2 plus a verb. 2 plus the verb and whatever we add. Couple of examples. I like, the first one. To practice is necessary. To practice is your subject, infinitive subject. The next one, I like, AV, DO, to practice. So there we have the infinitive phrase after an action verb, to practice. So it's, to practice is a DO. She was, linking verb, she was what? To sing today, LV, PN. I like to sleep late on Sunday mornings. I, subject, action verb like. I like what? To sleep late on Sunday mornings. Yes, that prep phrase becomes part of the infinitive phrase. AV, DO. And then the appositive phrase, the third verbal. Remember that all appositive phrases, let me say 99.9% of the appositive phrases are nouns or pronouns following another noun to clarify. Jorge, my best friend, lives in Mexico. So the independent clause is Jorge lives, AV in Mexico phrase, and then my best friend renames or clarifies who Jorge is. Done. Okay, so now we're in phrases. Remember that a phrase is a group of words like on the roof, to the store, through the window, la la la, la la la, la la la, like that. They never have a subject and verb. Clause. Let's go back to phrase. What's a phrase? A group of words. Clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. What's a phrase? A group of words. A clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. That's your difference. Let's go to independent clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. It can stand alone. Examples, the sky is blue. Sky is linking verb blue, PA. He left the room. He left, AVDO, room. He studied all night. So, he, subject, verb, studied. Listen, yes, that's a complete sentence. It's a command. When you have a command like listen, you have an understood subject. You listen. Hurry, hurry. You hurry, you hurry. So one word can be a complete independent clause with the understood subject. Dependent clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. It cannot stand alone. So independent clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. It can stand alone. Dependent clause, a group of words with both a subject and a verb. It cannot stand alone. Page 6. Subordinators. Definition of a subordinator, lower in rank. For example, a dependent clause is lower in rank. When you have, for example, a sentence with an independent clause and a dependent clause, that's a complex sentence. The dependent clause is always subordinate to the independent clause because remember, the dependent clause has a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone. We'll get into that more deeply in just a moment. Subordinators. Here's your list of subordinators. Let's go over them here. I'll just read them as you look at your papers. After, although, as, because, before. So we saw before, behind. It can also be a prep. So what's going to be the difference between a prepositional phrase versus a subordinator beginning a dependent clause? Phrase, clause, yes. The prep phrase will never have a subject and a verb. The dependent clause has a group of words with both a subject and a verb, but it cannot stand alone. Only the independent clause can stand alone. So, after, although, as, because, before, even if, even though, if, in order to. So, let's look at just a little independent clause. Mario studied. Mario subject, studied action verb. Mario studied. But once I put once in front of that, it changes to a dependent clause. Mario studied, independent. Once Mario studied, comma, dependent clause. So that's what the subordinator does. It makes an independent clause dependent. Provided that Mario studies, comma, he will be successful on the test. So one dependent, one independent, complex sentence. One and one, complex sentence. Since Mario studied, so that he would pass the test, comma, Mario studied. So let's remember when the subordinator starts your sentence and you have the dependent clause, you must have that comma. Because he wanted to pass the test, comma, module study, period. Complex sentence with a beautiful introductory dependent clause. It's also called an introductory adverbial clause because it tells us degree. So we'll end with since. Oh, that one can be a preposition, since. It can be a subordinator, but remember, preposition is a phrase. Subordinators begin dependent clauses. So look at the rest of them as we go forward. Okay, so on page 6, there are 3 dependent clauses. The first one is an adjective clause, sometimes called a relative clause because it begins with relative pronouns. Let's review those. Remember, it's the W's and the T. Who, whose, whom, which, that. Again, who, whose, whom, which, that. They begin adjective clauses. If you have an adjective clause and an independent clause, again, complex sentence. Okay, so we have just a short little exercise here. Identify the adjective clause and the word it modifies. Most of the time you're going to be asking which one. Do you know the girl who sits next, do you know the girl who lives next door? Did you hear? Who, whose, whom, which, that. When you have a question, remember you're going to flip it into not an interrogative statement, but a statement declarative. You look at number 1. You have a verb phrase. Do know. You do know what? You do know action verb. What girl? Do. And after girl, who, whose, whom, who lives next door? We ask which girl? The girl who lives next door. So you look at your who, whose, whom, look in front. You have a noun. You ask which girl, which shop, which window. I like the person whose name is Jim. Who, whose, whom, there it is. Person, question, which person? The person whose name is Jim. There's your dependent adjective clause. The students who study will do well in class. Which students? Do you see the who, whose, whom? There's who? Which students? The students who study. Very good. The students there it is, whose grades are low. Which students? The students whose grades are low. I hope to see the person, which person? With whom I spoke last night. Here we're going to add that little prep along with the dependent adjective clause. Okay, so we did the adjective clauses. Now let's do the adverb clause. Number 2, dependent adverb clause. We can just say adverb clause, but I put dependent just to remind you that adjective, adverb, and noun clauses are dependent. It begins with the subordinator, which we went over. It acts as an adverb and modifies va. What is va? Verb, adjective, adverb. And it answers the adverb questions. When, today, when, never. And let's write in here, I didn't put it in, but please write down that adverbs usually, can end in ly. In fact, maybe they usually do. All right. The other questions: when, what, why, where, how often, to what degree. And here's a little exercise. Look at number 1. Subordinator is, yes, when. I see a comma after home. So right now I can see that this is a subordinator. This is an introductory adverbial clause. When you get home, call me. We have another command. It's a subject of call. You call AV, me, DO. Another command. Put your games up so that, there's my subordinator, you can eat dinner. You put your gains up, independent clause, so that you can eat dinner, dependent clause, one and one, complex. One independent, one dependent, complex. I'm sad, although you try to cheer me up. There's your subordinator, although you tried. You tried action verb what? Look at that. To cheer me up, infinitive phrase functioning as a direct object. Excellent. We keep our bread in the refrigerator so that it doesn't go bad. One and one, complex. It answers the question why. He remembered after he left the house to buy milk. A lot of beautiful things here. After he left house. So after subordinator, subject of the dependent adverb clause, he. Left AV, he left what? House VO. So SAVDO in the dependent clause. Subject of the independent clause, he. Remembered, action verb, he remembered what? And look at that, to buy milk. Infinitive phrase, AVDO. Number 3, noun clauses. Now remember, the adjective will modify a noun or pronoun. The adverb will modify va, but the noun phrase or clause is going to function. They're going to act like a noun. What does a noun do? A noun can be the subject. A noun can be the predicate nominative. It can be the DO and the IO. Okay, now, some subordinators can begin noun clauses. Okay, here are some. How, when, where, whether, why. Noun clauses and phrases will function as a noun, which we stipulated already. And here we have a little exercise. I like what I see. I, action verb. I like what? There's your verb. What I see. Noun clause following an action verb. Let me put this over here. If it follows an action verb, you know it's going to be an IO or a DO. In this case, I like what? What I see. ABDO. Number 2, I know what? That patience has its limits. Okay, again, AVDO. Noun clause functioning as a DO. Whatever you wish is my command. Whatever you wish. Subject. And it's this one right here. I know, AV, where the treasure is. AVDO. I know that it happened. Again, SAVDO. I know how it happened. AVDO. I know, AVDO, why it happened. Show me. You show me. You show me, IO. That's to whom or for whom the action is being done. You show me, show AV, it's this one right here. You show me how they work. So that's a beautiful one with an indirect object. My command is, my command is right here. Whatever you want. Linking verb, that's a noun clause functioning as a PN. All right, now page 8. Real quickly, we'll do 10 through 13. I will give, that's a verb phrase, AB. I will give what you said some thought. That doesn't make much sense, but we'll do it. I will give what you, I hear it now, makes sense. We need commas there. I will give what you said some thought. Well, here we go. I will give what you said thought. Another IO. My My relationships are between me and whoever I'm with. So, relationship, subject, are, LV. Relationships are between me, prep phrase, that's gone, and between whoever I'm with. So this is a noun clause functioning as the object of the preposition between. Lovely. Man is LV, what he eats. Noun clause functioning as LVPN. Notice that I do not have the SLVPA here. And that's because noun clauses cannot function as adjectives. Adjectives describe. That he believes his own story is remarkable. That he believes his own story, noun clause functioning as the subject, is linking verb, is what? Remarkable. PA modifying that beautiful noun clause. Okay, page 8. Some words can be both a preposition and subordinator. And I believe we did those. Oh, okay, let's read this. Remember that a preposition is followed by a noun or pronoun. Remember, this is a prepositional phrase. This is a preposition, this is a noun or pronoun, functioning as the OP, remember? On the other hand, a subordinator that begins a sentence after he ran the race. You're not going to have a noun there. You have a subject and a verb because that's a dependent clause. Okay, so I have some more examples for you there. I think we need to go ahead and go, I think we've made it clear. Page 8 is good. Let's go to page 9. And let's talk about the sentences by structure. So you have simple, compound, complex, compound, complex again, simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. So a simple sentence. The sky is blue. Sky is blue. Period. That's a simple sentence. Compound, two or more sentences. Let's go to the right. So a simple sentence, a group of words with both a subject and a verb, it can stand alone, is called independent. So I'm going to do my finger like this. When I go like this, it's one independent, okay? So if we have compound, I'm going to go like this. Compound sentence. So in the middle of these two independent clauses, you can have a fanboy, remember for and nor, but, or, yes, so. It must be preceded by a comma. Otherwise, it will be called a run-on. Ms. Diaba woke up and she drank coffee. If I have no comma before that and, that's a run-on. It's not punctuated correctly. Ms. Diaba woke up, comma, and she drank coffee. That's a correctly punctuated compound sentence. Could I say, Ms. Diaba woke up, comma, and she brushed her teeth, comma, and she drank coffee, period. Yeah, that's still a compound sentence. It doesn't matter how many complete independent clauses you have, still compound. For example, if you heard on the news last night, Ms. Diaba was in an accident and she was taken to the hospital with compound injuries. What does that mean? Two or more. Compound injuries, two or more. Compound sentence, two independent clauses or more. Now, another way that you can punctuate a compound sentence rather than having a comma and, comma for, comma, nor, remember the fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. You put them right between two sentences, comma precedes. But if you didn't want to do that, you could also just put a semicolon, dot, comma, in between. Ms. Villalba woke up, semicolon. She brushed her teeth, semicolon. She drank coffee, period. Okay, let's go to complex. So, if you have one independent clause, and I'm going to go one dependent clause, okay? One I, one D, that's complex. One I, compound. One I, one D, complex. Compound, complex, let's think about that. What makes a compound? Yeah, one of these, another one of these, and one of these. One I, another I, and a D. Compound, complex. What's this? Independent. One, let's use independent, yes. One independent, compound. What's this? Compound, complex. What makes complex? This. What makes compound? This. What is this? Compound, complex, perfect. All right, so now, if we could go, my little cameraman, if we could go to the screen here, please. Now, we're going to practice. So, this is a test. There's going to be 3 of them. And we went so fast on the review, we have plenty of time. You have reviewed everything you need to do well here. So I got this from EnglishGrammar.org. And this is the phrases. Let's repeat phrases. What's a phrase? A group of words. What's a clause? A group of words with both a subject and a verb. Are these going to have subjects and verbs? No, because they're all phrases. Okay, so in the following sentences, identify the phrase and state whether they are adjective phrases. What do they modify? Noun or pronoun. Adverb phrases modify va. And noun phrases, they don't modify anything. They function as a noun. Very good. An adjective phrase serves the same purpose as an adjective. It modifies a noun or pronoun. You know that. An adverb phrase serves the same purpose as an adverb. It modifies a verb. But you know even more than that. You know they modify va. Verb, adjective, and adverb. A noun phrase serves the same purpose as a noun. It acts as a subject or object of the verb, meaning I-O, D-O, or P-N. So here we go. So this is interactive. I'm going to give you a minute, and I would like everybody's on your computer, and you are giving me the answer to number 1. Done. Okay, so this is what I hope you're doing at your desk. I'm going here. I see this word right here, to. Well, that could be a preposition, or it could be an infinitive because it's followed by a verb. In fact, I see now it's an infinitive phrase. To win the first prize. Subject I, hope AV, I hope what? To win the first prize. Let's not forget this. We're AV, DO. So, if it's this whole phrase is a DO, we know that this is a noun. AV, DO, direct objects. Indirect objects are nouns or pronouns. So, noun phrase. And correct. Try the next one, please. Okay. The first word that comes to my head is in. In, inside, into. Prep phrase, in brown frock. Or maybe it should be in the brown frock. Frock is used in England as a dress. So, in the brown frock is a phrase. Subject, girl, is linking verb. Girl is what? Sister. PNLV, PN. Okay, so the girl is my sister in the brown frock. Look at, it's a noun, right? I'm sorry, girl in front of the in. Which girl? The girl in the brown frock. And if it answers which one, then we know it's an adjective phrase. There we go. Do the next one, please. Yes, we see it say an interrogative question. Put your subject first, join your verb phrase, and ask your question. Proceed. I see an ing with no helper. That looks like a gerund, doesn't it? You did enjoy what? A VDO, gerund phrase functioning as a direct object. You did enjoy a VDO. So if it's a DO, it must be a noun phrase. And there we go. Next one, please. I'm going to use this little ruler. Maybe you can see it better. Okay, right away you're going to put an X on always because it's always a verb. I'm sorry, an adverb. Don't use it again. She drives, AV, she drives with care. With, within, without. That's a prep phrase. Look in front. Can we ask which drives? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, she drives how? What answers how? Yes, the adverb phrase. She drives how? With care. Adverb phrase. Correct. Try the next one. So that ing, is that a gerund? Is that a participle? No. The subject were shouting. So we want to get rid of this prep phrase right here. In a loud voice. This is a preposition. This is a noun or pronoun. Okay, functioning as the OP. They were shouting. What question does it answer? Not which one. They were shouting how. Another how. Adverb phrase right here. At Victoria Terminus. Prep phrase. Subject. Train. Stopped. AV. Train stopped. Where? Yes, what answers where? Adverb. Adverb phrase. Okay. Any questions? Very good. Let's get rid of this one. No more phrases for us today. Let's go. Okay, not this one. Let's do this one. Sorry, let me see if I can open it. Try that. Clauses. Always look at the titles and the instructions more than once. Identify the kind of clause used in the following sentences. Okay. There we go. Look at the sentence. Whoa. So we see this. Looks like a subordinator. The jury believed, jury, AV, jury believed what? That the man was guilty. AV, DO. And a DO has to be a noun clause. The jury believed what? that the man was guilty. Noun clause functioning as direct object has to be a noun clause. Incorrect. Number 2. Here we are, another command. The subject of all commands is you. And we see a subordinator here. You come, AV. You come when you like. You see this? When you see a when, it's usually answering when. You come when? When you like. When should you come? When you like. What answers when? Your adverb clause right here. Incorrect. Number 3. I know the girl who won the prize. Excuse me. Who, whose, whom, which, that should jump right out at you. I know action verb. I know what? The girl. A-V-D-O right here. Who, whose, whom, beginning your dependent clause. Who won the prize? Look, right in front of who, you see girl. You ask, this is where you ask, which one? Which girl? The girl who won the prize. Which girl? Always include the noun. The girl who won the prize. So, if it answers which one, we know it's an adjective. It's modifying the noun, adjective clause. And correct. Very good. Number 4, he confessed here we go, that he was guilty. He confessed, AV, he confessed what? That he was guilty. If it answers what, it's AVDO. Noun clause functioning as a direct object. And correct. I know you have great regard for him. So let's look at this. I know, it's missing the subordinator here or the pronoun. I know that you have great regard for him. So, I know, action verb. I know what? That you have great regard for him. A-V-D-O. If it's a D-O, then we know it's a noun clause. And here we go. Incorrect. Number 6. There's a question. Let's make it a statement. You do think, that's your verb phrase. Think is a verb. Do think is your verb phrase. You do think what? That I am a fool. You do think what? That I am a fool. A-V-D-O. If it's a D-O, yes. Noun clause. And correct. Number 7, before I die, that should have a comma right here. Yes, because it's an introductory adverbial clause. Before I die, I want to see Venice. Here's your dependent. Here's your independent. Complex sentence. Before I die, I want what? Look at here. To see Venice. So, look right here. A-V-D-O for this phrase. This is an infinitive phrase, but they don't want the phrase. They want the clause. Before I die, and that is an introductory adverbial clause. A little sneaky there. And correct. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Very famous quote. The hand, there it is, that rocks the cradle. Who, whose, whom, which, that, remember the adjective clause? Which hand? The hand that rocks the cradle. It answers and describes the hand. So that means it's an adjective clause. Incorrect. Number 9. I know a boy whose father serves in the army. Who, whose, whom, which, that, there it is. Which boy? The boy whose father serves in the army. Yes, describing a noun has to be an adjective clause. And correct. Number 10, I will not go until he arrives. And there, every time you see not, that's an adverb. Put an X on it, get rid of it. Now you see the verb phrase. I will go, even though it's stating the opposite, until he arrives. So that's a subordinator. So that tells me adverb clause. But it also answers when, until he arrives. So adverb clause. Incorrect. Number 11, the coffee maker that I bought for my wife is expensive. Ding, 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 ding. There it is, that. Go right in front. Which maker? Which coffee maker? It's asking which one. That, the coffee maker that I bought for my wife. So it's modifying a noun, adjective clause. And there we are. If you give respect, you get respect. Introductory adverbial clause, there's your subordinator, there's your comma, adverb clause. If you give respect, it's modifying the verb get. If you give, you get. Adverb clause. Incorrect. Excellent. Any questions? All right, so the next one, I'm going to give you time to do on your own. Identify these clauses, okay? They don't want phrases, they want clauses. Identify the kind of clause used in the following sentences. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do it. And you need to go quickly. Okay. So again, I go to the instructions. Identify the kind of, we could even analyze this. You identify what? The kind. Yes, a V, D, O, of clause, preposition used in the following sentences, participle modifying clause. Just beautiful. The girl believed that the man was guilty. There it is. I'm sorry, the jury. Jury, subject, believed, AV. Jury believed what? That the man was guilty. Noun clause functioning as DO. And there we go. You come when you like. Remember we talked about the when? The answer when. Adverb clause answering when. You come when? When you like. When you see that, remember that. That's an adverb clause right here. Incorrect. I know the girl who won the prize. There's your who, who's, whom, which, that, which girl, the girl who won the prize. So we have this clause, adjective clause, modifying the noun girl, adjective clause. And there it is. He confessed that he was guilty. He confessed what? A V, D, O. If it's a D, O, we know it's a noun clause. He confessed what? That he was guilty. Incorrect. I know you have great regard for him. For him, prep phrase. And look, this is one of those that has an understood that. I know, AV, I know what? That you have great regard for him. AV, DO, DO, noun clause. Incorrect. Do you think that I am a fool? Again, you do think, AV, you do think what? That I am a fool. AV, DO, again, you do think what? That I am a fool. AV, DO, noun clause for DOs. Incorrect. Before I die, I want to see Venice. So there we go. This is an introductory adverbial clause. We need a comma here. Adverb clause. Incorrect. Number 8. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. We saw this in the other one. Let's make sure we get it right. Which hand? The hand that rocks the cradle. So we know it's adjective when it asks which one. Incorrect. I know a boy whose father serves in the army. There's who, who's, whom. Which boy? The boy whose father serves in the army. We saw that one already. So which boy, which one? Adjective clause. Okay. I'm hoping you all get the ones that we're redoing correct now every time. Not, it's an adverb, cross it out. I will go until he arrives. Subordinator. When will you go? Until he arrives. When, that means adverb clause. The coffee maker, remember this one? The coffee maker that I bought for my wife is expensive. Okay, that I bought for my wife. Which coffee maker? Which one? Adjective clause. If you give respect, you get respect. You give respect, D-O. There it is. There's your comma. There's your subordinator, introductory adverbial clause. And it, when you give respect, you get respect. So, adverb clause. Incorrect. All right. Well done. Well done. It's a lot of information. You have done very, very well. To know all of these words and all of these rules and all the parts of speech and all the phrases and all the clauses, that's what is that's what one needs to know before one can do phrases and clauses correctly. So I am going to give you some homework tonight where you will find, let's see, below each number, it's on page 9. Practice A on page 9. Below each number, write the following sentences. So now we're getting into the creative part of it. You know everything that you need to know. I want you to now practice, as we've done before, creating these sentences. A simple sentence. One independent clause. A compound sentence. 2 independent clauses. A complex sentence. 1 I, 1 D. A compound complex sentence. Okay? 2 I's and at least 1 D. And you can have as many D's as you want. But compounds you must have here, and complex. And then for number 5, a simple sentence with an infinitive phrase. And what do infinitives begin with? Yes, to followed by a verb. And then practice B, below each number, write the following sentences. So here I want a complex sentence with an introductory adverbial clause. So the D is going to be here. And the I will follow it. Remember, with the dependent clauses, the adverb clauses, you can go like this, you can go like this. Because he wanted to eat early, he started cooking early. Complex sentence with an adjective clause, remember, who, whose, whom, which, that. Complex sentence with a noun clause. Remember, it can be the subject, the verb, predicate noun, direct object, indirect object. For number 4, a complex sentence with an adverb clause at the end of the sentence. So I want this, and then I want this. A simple sentence with an adjective phrase, not a clause. I want a simple sentence with an adjective phrase, a noun phrase, and an adverb phrase. Will they have subjects and verbs? No. Very good. All right, if there are no more questions, we will see you tomorrow with your beautiful homework in hand. It was lovely to teach you today. Thank you for being such great students.